All right, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Bucket. I'm back with the BC Underground Hip Hop Podcast. We got a special guest with us. Y'all know it's your boy Hungryy. You want to let everybody know where to get at you on your social?
At I am hungry. I am _hungry with 2 Y's.
That's what's up.
That's about it.
Good to know. All right, brother. Well, the way I like to kind of start my show is I ask every one of my guests, how did you get involved with hip hop? Like, what inspired you to get started rapping?
I started hanging out with some dudes that were like older than me when I first moved here. Like my boy Catch Cole, Aspire. They had a crew called Main Offenders. My boy Mike Murder, some OGs. They were doing it, and they were like really crazy, good writers. You know, real good bars.
I've seen Mike Murder on one of Junk's tracks. I think it's Eat Your Family, or I forget the name, but it's killer. The guys, that was the first time I've seen him, and he's fire.
Yeah, he don't really do it too much no more, but so those are like my dudes. Aspire, back in the day, they like brought me up and shit. I was hanging around
Aspire,
those dudes.
he's in with that collective, right? Or is that him? That was in with like what's his name? Copacetic and all that.
Copacetic?
Am I thinking of the right dude?
No, I don't think so. Kaboom?
Yeah. No. Copacetic is in this like collective with a bunch of rappers and.
It's not Aspire.
Yeah, it's not Aspire. I was thinking different dude. I know I've heard that name before though, but that's really dope. So,
you do a lot of shit.
A lot of battles, right? Dope.
And then those guys really pushed me, you know. I fuck with their writing and shit. They had crazy bars, and like they were just like, "Yo, you should do this shit." And then I was always like a lifelong hip hop fan, and I just started doing it, you know.
That's dope, man. When did you record your first track?
Probably when I was like 13 or 14.
Really young, eh?
Yeah, with my boy Cole, and it was in Scumbag. This dude Scumbag. I think he still makes beats.
Okay.
It was in like his basement, and I was on some like lyrical miracle shit.
Yeah, facts. That was the age back then, right?
Yeah, but it was like, you know, it was fun and shit. And
how old are you now?
Yeah, I remember that. I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay, so this is about 16 years ago. Just to kind of put a time frame into this, see where Canada's hip hop age was at, right? It's more of a backsport time then.
Maybe I was never really fucking with that movement. Like I had respect for like Mad Child and Swollen and shit, but I was not like a backsport dude, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I just remember around like 2003, 2004, they were all over Much Music. Like they were the kind of the guys popping, right? But
definitely.
But it's really dope to see that, you know, the underground kind of taking a forefront now. And it's not really like the guys who were underground back then, you see a lot of them popping off and like doing really dope shit that, you know, not necessarily 10 years ago you would have heard them. They've kind of really come into their own.
Like who you talking about?
Junk for one. Like, you know how Junk was in King of the Dot with you back in the day, and seeing him kind of come from that into like what he is now. Like he's building himself a brand name, right? So it's really cool to see that.
Absolutely.
Really cool to see that. Definitely.
He's killing it.
Yeah, Junk's killing it. So I actually kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. How did you hear about battle rap at first? Like, did you know about like battles online, or were you more so into just the making music? What's that? Sorry.
DVD fan.
DVDs, yeah. You knew all about the smack shit, eh?
Yeah. I was watching all that shit.
That's crazy. Yeah. So I remember watching
Jim being like one of the first dudes.
Okay. How did you get involved with doing your first battle? Who got you signed up?
Aspire set it up. He was like, "Yo, you got to battle this dude Junk."
That's crazy.
Like, I'm a fucking server.
And so you guys had never met before then, hey?
Nah.
No.
We like knew of each other, but like we never met before.
Okay, and you guys have kind of become friends now.
That's like one of my best friends, man.
Yeah, that's really dope to see that. You know, you guys came from like what battle rap did was like not really like made you guys friends, but just kind of put that shit into motion because then it's how you guys met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really dope to see how you guys turned it from being opponents into one of your best friendships that you've had for life. That's really dope.
Yeah, hell yeah. We made a lot of music together too.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of your music, I just noticed you dropped a track with Freddie Gibbs. Like that's fucking wild, man.
Yeah. I'm really happy. I'm happy about it. For
Yeah,
sure.
stoked about it, right?
Yes, sir.
Talk to me a little bit about the process of making the track and just like what was going through your mind when you knew you were going to do a track with him, and even just getting him onto it. Like just a little bit of the process of making the
I
song.
didn't really know he was gonna do it until he sent the verse, but like I just I met him. I met him at last time he was in Vancouver, and he needed some tree. He was like the side stage of Fortune, and my boy Cole came up to me and was like, "Yo, Freddie's merch guy says they looking for flour,"
Yeah,
and I was like linked him like a backwood and some gas, and then he came over and was like, "Yo, thank you so much. Like I really appreciate that." And I was like, "Yeah, I got you, bro." And then I just hit him like right there. I was like, "Yo, I'll give you this for a verse." And he was like, "I'll do that tomorrow. Like, I got you. That ain't no problem."
that's
I was like,
fire.
"Whoa." And then he gave me his number and shit. We started texting. I just finished a song like the week before that I'd been sitting on for like a year. And I like forgot about it for like a year. And then I like finished the second verse and I was like, I'm just going to send him this.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, I guess he was fucking with it. He did it. He ended up doing it like a month or maybe 2 months later. But I was like, he gave me his number. We were texting and shit the whole time. So it was cool, man. He's a real one.
that's really dope. That's really dope, man. It kind of shows, like a lot of aspiring artists that when you get an opportunity to meet face to face with someone that you may have been listening to for not so much your whole life, but just someone you've been looking up to for a long time, and someone you can meet face to face. When you take that opportunity to say, hey, this is what I would do for a verse for you if you're down for that. Just a quick conversation can get you. It just dropped.
The worst thing they can say is no.
That's exactly right, man. And hopping on opportunities when they happen is key. And like I look at this, you doing the podcast as an opportunity for me. And as soon as you said yes, I was like, all right, well, let's set up a time and do it.
Word.
And just get it done, because that's how I look at opportunities. And if this podcast is going to build, I got to get better guests.
Word.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you coming on the show, bro.
Yeah, man. No worries.
Facts. Now, what do you have any other projects that you're working on that you have like sitting in the back burner that you're looking for it?
I got another EP that's like been done. I'm just gonna release like maybe 1 or 2 more singles, and I'm gonna put that out.
Yeah, put it out like as a whole project kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I'll be like maybe like 6 songs.
That's sick. That's tight.
I got another joint with Pressa that I'm sitting on.
Yeah, that's fire.
I got me and Junk been working on some shit. There might be another, little thing there. I'm not sure yet. We got some things though. Yeah, man, I'm working on some shit.
That's really dope to hear. Well, the battle rap scene, have you been involved with it at all lately, or even been to a King of the Dot event recently?
Oh, shit. You know what? I haven't, and I feel bad about it because like Sparker's my boy, and I haven't really been following what's going on in the community as much as I'd like to, but I still have a lot of respect for battle MCs.
Yeah, big time. I mean, that's definitely how I like to believe that I built my skills, and what the little ones that I have in hip hop. That's kind of how I've got myself a stage presence and a voice, was battling and learning a lot. Like I learned so much through battle rap, bro.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a good stepping stone, if not a lane. at least it's a good place to go and learn.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah. So what's I've been trying to ask a little bit more this question to my guests, and it threw one of my guests recently off a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, like, do you read a lot of books? And if you do, uh, what's the book that you've been gifted the most in life?
Fuck, that's a tough one. I read a lot my whole life. Lately, I've been like trying to have to find time to do it more. Just like make time for it. But I love reading. I read a lot of like novels and shit, like mad novels, like mad Stephen King shit when I was like a
That's
kid.
tight. That's so tight. Have you been watching the movies that have been like the books that have been turned into movies and shit?
Yeah.
It's so tight. I love seeing all that shit, man. Stephen
Yeah.
King books were some of my favorite growing up. Yeah,
Stephen
great
King
novels.
found out he's a fucking pedophile.
Right. But the books though.
Yeah. But the books are fire.
Yeah.
They're fire. They're dark and twisted. I'm trying to read more like nonfiction now.
Okay.
To keep learn shit I can learn from, shit I can improve myself in ways.
Yeah. That's great, man. You ever heard of Jocko Willink?
No.
No, he's like a Marine who's turned into like a business like self-help guru kind of thing. He's not really self-help guru like fucking Tony Robbins or anything, but he basically took his Marine, like he trained Navy SEALs or something.
Oh,
and took that and put it into like business kind of guidelines on that. And he's got tons of self-help books, tons of business like ownership books and stuff like that. Jocko's a great writer on that. But what is a writer who you would recommend for upcoming artists to look into and read their stuff?
For upcoming artists, man, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask that question. Like,
yeah,
I have the same question for you, my friend. Like, who should I reach? I like I said, I'm just getting into like all those type of books like now, in this phase of my life. So
yeah, that's good. That's good because I see. You were saying right. So you're trying to get more into nonfiction. So I guess you would have something like some fiction books writers, right? Well, that's pretty dope. What about shows, man? Do you perform very often in town here?
I haven't. I think the last show I did was like at 420.
420. Hey, so in April, yeah, that's quite a while ago.
Yeah.
And do you plan on doing more shows here?
I mean, I would like to. I enjoy performing. I just like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really reached out to like promoters when like, yo, put me on for very many shows. I know there's probably like a bunch of little ones that like are weekly open mics, shit like that I could be doing, but like, I don't like to leave my house unless like, I gotta get money or like, do like shit. I'm trying to just be like, then I go out and then, people want to drink and start drinking and smoking, all that shit. It's like, I'm not trying to do all that no more.
Yeah, priorities kind of get in the way, hey?
Mm-hmm.
That's big. That shows a lot of maturity, bro. That's dope.
Word, well, fuck.
Well, at 30, I mean, you might feel like an old man. I mean, I'm 28. I'm not that much younger than you, but I try to put in perspective how my parents felt when they were my age, how I looked up to them and they looked so old. But now that I feel still so young, man. Like
for real.
Like it's crazy the fact that
like half, maybe a bit more if you're healthy and you take care of yourself.
If you're healthy, you can go for more than 100 years now.
Well, fuck. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
we'll live to 100 these days, fam. They're trying to kill us everywhere.
Yeah, anyway they can, isn't that right? Yeah. Well, did you catch any of that UFC match, or were you straight up on this hockey?
I was just reading some shit though online about. I was watching the Canucks game.
Yeah. The fights tonight, they were super heavy with the knockouts. The first match on the card, dude, the guy got flatlined with a head kick. It was crazy. Sat down against the fence. It was nuts. It's gonna be replays all over the place. But how was that hockey game, bro?
Canucks bodied it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Canucks been killing it lately.
Been bodying it.
Yeah, it's always good to hear about the home team.
It's about time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I like to keep my podcast short. I'm glad that I got you on here.
Word.
We'll definitely have to bring you back when you get another project drop in. We'll talk more soon. I appreciate you coming out.
Okay, brother. No worries.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Peace,
One.
brother.
Peace.